Our society is becoming weak and weak and weak. People are too comfortable. Men are becoming fragile, brittle. They are becoming so breakable. And they are training up their children also to become sissies. They're training up their children, their sons, to become weak, feminized, and effeminate, even as early as 4 years old. And by doing so, they are sacrificing their children over to Baal. So, the video that you are going to see right now, never knew who this guy is, never heard of him on YouTube, but nonetheless, I came across this video and this really got me, it got my blood boiling, man. People are willfully giving their children. It's like they're just willfully giving up their children, their sons. They're giving up their sons. Why? Why? Allowing the children to rule over you. You're supposed to be protecting your children. These men, these people are supposed to be protecting their children, but they are not protecting their children. Let's play this clip. Let's roll this clip. All right? Let's go ahead and roll this clip. I
wanted to make a video to thank my daddy for letting me be who I wanted to be.
Yes. Get back homeward. Once there was a way to get back home. Sleep, little darling, do not cry, and I will sing a lullaby.
takes his child to gender clinic. Why? Looks like a girl. Now I can't even tell the difference. Now you look and you can't even tell the difference if it's a girl or a boy anymore. Looks like a girl, but is it a girl? It's a boy. At 9 years old, goes to a gender clinic. Friends, do you not see how the world has gone mad? The world has gone mad. I don't even know. This is the thing, is people are willfully sacrificing their children. They are giving up their children to the beast. You are going to be held accountable for all these decisions that you've made. Many people today, listen, I'm telling you, you're supposed to be protecting your children. Protecting your children even from their own selves. You are supposed to be protecting your own children even from their own selves. Children are not, they don't make decisions of their own. They need the parents to make decisions on their behalf. A child does not know anything. You are supposed to be the one training up that child so that the child is then brought into an image that reflects his or her maker. So this is going up to children. Children are no longer innocent. Children are being tainted at an early age. Children are being tainted at an early age. Men are being tainted. Remember that Sodom and Gomorrah were destroyed alongside with 3 other cities. Altogether, 5 cities were destroyed. 5. You think that children were not in it? I'm just telling you that God means business. When he says, train up a child in a way that he should go so that when he is old, he will not stray away from it, he will not depart from it, he means it. We should be training up these children and bringing them up to his image. Let them reflect the image of Christ. Let them not reflect the image of Satan. When you have the mixing of 2 genders, when you have the mixing and you try to add to that which God has given or take away snip, snip, down there, cut away. If you want to go through all of those things, if you go to do that, you are sacrificing your private parts, you're sacrificing body members once again to the devil. Baal is receiving worship. Here's another clip that we're going to play. This is between a man who calls himself a trans mom, that he's a mother, and he's going back and forth with Matt Walsh. Let's roll this clip.
Hi, Matt. I'm transgender. I'm born and raised here in New Mexico. I have a graduate degree in information technology, marketing, business, and finance. I own my own home. I pay taxes. I have a 6-figure job. I'm a respected professional in Albuquerque. I'm a mother. My life experience is that I'm an awesome person. I am well-liked. I'm responsible, and I think I'm pretty cool. You touched on something. You said something earlier that for you, when somebody calls you a man, it doesn't faze you because, like, you just know that you're a man. That was interesting to me because I feel the same way about my identity as a woman. My question leading up to this, you've asserted that no one would ever see me as a woman, that nobody would ever see or could see a transgender person as a woman, and yet I have dozens of friends from diverse backgrounds, women from the reservation, a woman from Japan, several immigrant women. I have my coworkers, I have my boss, my VP, my CEO, all respecting me as a woman. My family, my long-term friends who are actually here with me. All of these people assure me, like, I'm a woman. They'll tell me, girl, like, there is no way you are a man. They see me as a woman. So the question,
Okay.
how can you assert that nobody would ever see me as a woman when my material experience tells me you're wrong?
Okay. It's interesting that that's the part of my talk you chose to ask a question about, because that's not in my talk at all. I don't believe I said that no one would ever see you as a woman. I mean, it's possible, I suppose, that you could fool someone. Now, you brought this up, so I have to tell you that you brought this up. You've put your identity on the table for conversation. And so I'm going to say you wouldn't fool me at all. I mean, I see a man 100%. And I think that most people would. Now, the fact that you have people in your life who are saying to you, oh, you're totally a woman, it's exactly what I'm talking about. No one in my life has ever once said to me, you're totally a man, Matt. You know, if a friend of mine called me on the phone and said, listen, Matt, I want you to know you're really a man, I would think that there was something wrong with him. I would say, why are you saying that at all? It doesn't make any sense. So the fact that this is a conversation to begin with tells me, it only proves the point that I'm trying to make, that your identity, even in your own mind, is up for, it's something that you need to be assured of. Now, what I would like to ask you, again, because you're standing here, and so you've brought your identity on the table for discussion. So how do you know that you're a woman?
It was first when I heard transgender persons describe their experience in their own words, and this was only about 2 years ago. Hearing somebody describe things, it was a woman from, like, England, describing her experience, her childhood, her teenage years. And it blew my mind to be listening to her, because it was just some podcast that I was listening.
See, this is the thing. What a shame it is that men, boys, are running around acting like they are women, like they are girls. Are you serious? Think about this. How long are people going to actually think that who is actually going to ignore the fact that you have men dressed up as women and they want you to call them women? Who in their right mind actually believes that it's possible to be classified as a full-blown, actual woman. It's very interesting. I'm very happy that actually Matt Walsh is actually asking the men the questions like, how do you even know you're a woman? And it seems that it's like, even this man, his gender identity is up for debate because he needs to constantly be reminded, you're a woman, you're a woman, you're a woman. And then he continues to believe that delusion. And he just lives in that lie. Are we actually just going to think that that's actually what? This is why, you know, someone might ask the question, why is our society so weak? Like, what has happened? What's going on? Why is it that men all of a sudden now want to be women? Boys are now wanting to be girls, and women are now assuming the roles of the ones that wear pants and girl power. Women rule over men and all those things. Why is it like that? It's because we live in soft times. So society has been soft. We've been living in such soft times. And I've spoken about this before. Hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Good times create soft men. And soft men create hard times. This is the reason why you've got boys, men like these, who are claiming to be mothers. Oh, really? Really? At least the people in Thailand, at least they refer to themselves as lady boys. I respect that. I'm not saying I respect that, it's good that they're doing that, but what I'm saying is this. If you go to Thailand, if you go to the Asian countries, and you ask them, are you a woman? They will say, no, I'm not a woman. What are you? I'm lady boy. I'm a lady boy. That's what they will say, is they are lady boys. They acknowledge that they are lady boys. They acknowledge that they are she-males or she-mens or she-he's or he-she's or whatever, trans. They accept that. But they will never cross the line and say, I am a woman. They don't say that. Only in North America do you hear men say, I'm a woman. Not lady boy, not she-he, not she-man, not whatever. They want you to refer to them as full-blown actual women. I have a problem with that. Politicians and lawmakers can't even seem to put a definite definition. They don't even want to define what a woman is anymore. Really? That's what society has come down to.
Listening to while I was like doing laundry, but it blew my mind to hear somebody so eloquently and precisely describe things that I had experiences
What
that
was
I
the
had
description?
experienced.
What did they say?
Okay, so I am honestly hesitant. I know that you touched earlier about the difficulty that transgender women might have in describing their identity, but I want to state, I honestly don't feel that you would engage in this conversation in good faith.
Then why are you
And
here?
so-
Why did you stand up to talk to me if you don't want to have a conversation? You're saying that you discovered that you're a woman. I'm asking you how you did. That's a very fair question.
Okay.
How do you know that you're a woman?
That's fine. All right. So first of all, listening to transgender people, and it was like, okay, this is a one-off, one person describing these things. Things like looking at yourself in the mirror and not recognizing yourself. Hearing compliments like, you are such an example, like a positive masculine role model. And just hearing that and being like, it feels like they're talking about somebody else. It means feeling alone, even when you're surrounded by guys, even when you have a lot of friends. And I was active in like Boy Scouts. I'm an Eagle Scout. I had great masculine role models my whole life. And yet I never felt like I belonged. I felt welcome and included.
Why does that make you a woman?
Because
As opposed to just a man who doesn't get along with some other men. or a man who's depressed, or a man who doesn't feel at home totally in his body, which, by the way, is a pretty universal human experience. Everybody goes through it at one time or another. So in what way does that make you a woman, though? And it's interesting, you're telling me that you listen to the experiences of other transgender people.
Well, yeah.
But what about women?
Men, do yourselves a favor. Don't you ever put on a woman's garment, even in the secret of your heart, or even in your secret chambers, even in your secret closet, even when no one is watching. Do not put on a woman's garment upon yourself, even if it is just for fun and you would never dress it in public. Do you understand what I'm saying? Don't wear a woman's garment. Don't wear a woman's bra. Don't wear a woman's bra for fun. Don't put on a woman's skirt for fun. Don't put on makeup upon yourself for fun. Do you know why I say this? It's because these things, there is a spirit that is connected to these things. Should you put these things on, a spirit will whisper to you and say, look at you. Look at yourself. And you begin to play for fun in a joking manner, in a jesting manner. That is how homosexuality is introduced to the public. It starts off through joking matter. There's a reason why the Bible forbids men from wearing women's garments. There's a reason for that. Women today are all over the place. Do you realize that when you destroy the head of a household, you ultimately destroy the household itself? Take the man, divide the man from the wife, separate the family by taking out the man. And I tell you, you'll have a broken nation. And such is the case. Men have already been compromised, and because men have been compromised, now you have a broken state. The world itself is falling apart. The world is falling apart, friends. This is absolute nonsense.
How you pick any actual woman in this room? In what way do you know that you belong in the same category as them?
I know because they tell me. So here was the...
You need them to tell you what you are?
Women. Yes. I trust the opinions of the women around me.
And if most women...
It's incredible. You might try it sometime.
If most women voted and said they don't see you as a woman, would you say, I'm not a woman anymore?
If who?
If most women voted and said they don't see you as a woman anymore, would you then relent and say, I'm not a woman?
I would say most people on the planet have no idea who I am. I'm going to trust the opinions of the people who've spent their lives with me.
But you are relying on other people to tell you who you are, is what we're establishing.
For context, I know you like to say, everybody's rah-rahing and supporting transgender people, and yet they're still killing themselves, etc. But I'm standing here in a room full of people applauding you and asking questions like, how can I put out legislation here in New Mexico, my home state I grew up in, to try to reverse transgenderism? I'm not safe. And it
How are you not safe? You just said you're standing in a room with people who disagree with you and you're perfectly fine. So how are you not safe? Okay, look, we're going round and round. You don't want to answer any of the questions. Maybe we'll end with this because we're talking about womanhood. So people can probably shout out the question I'm going to ask you right now.
Okay.
But you know that you're a woman.
Yes.
What is that?
So gender is a social thing. It only makes sense.
I don't want to hear that. What is a woman? What is a woman?
What is a woman?
The word woman, define in the dictionary. Go.
A woman is somebody who is included and respected and seen and participates in society, recognized by other women. If you speak with women...
Circular definition.
That's mine. Whatever.
Okay.
I'm done. Here's the thing. Do you realize that the entire argument of trans people claiming to be women or claiming to be men, and they want to be classified in that same category. Do you realize that that very argument itself is on shaky grounds? It's on shaky foundation. They don't even know what they stand upon. They don't even know what they believe. They don't know anything. When you align yourself with the LGBTQ movement, you automatically align yourself with compromise and with shaky foundation. Your foundation is sure to fall. Why? Because people are going to ask you a question, what's a woman? How are you going to answer that? You don't know what the answer is anymore. All logic is thrown out the window. And everything is based upon your feelings. You're living based upon your feelings. Woe to those who call evil good and good evil, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. I tell you, friends, this is the society that we live in. The next thing that we are going to be seeing a lot more of, which we are already seeing, expect the Satanists to be coming up way more and much more intense with not only the agenda of the LGBTQ, obviously that's there, but it's going to now, they are going to be pushing things that are going to involve minors, children. You watch. They've already been given to us hints. They want to do things that will lower the age. And they will also want to do things that will allow them to have access to your children without you being there present for your children. We are at war against powers of darkness and against principalities. And I tell you, friends, I dare not trust these people anyhow. It's not wise to put our trust in men. It's not wise to put our trust in these people. Why should you put your trust in them? Why? What's the point? Putting your trust in these people will ultimately result in you actually, you're gonna have misery. You put your trust in these people, misery is all that's going to follow you. I think it's time for the word of God to be more fresher than ever upon people's minds. We need to be investing our time now in the word of God. Do not put your trust in men. No, if you put your trust in men, you are going to fall. Let not your trust, let not your foundation be upon men, nor upon men's foundations or men's opinions. When your foundation is based upon other people's opinions, it's fallen. You stand on shaky grounds. This individual, this man, dressed up as a woman, is standing falling upon shaky grounds. He doesn't even know what he is anymore. This is actually illness of the mind, but they don't want you to call it as illness of the mind or mental illness. Psychological warfare is taking place upon everybody. These people are the ones who are being used. And the children that are coming up, man, I feel bad for the young ones that are coming up. And fathers are going to be held. Many people, many fathers are going to be guilty because they are not in the lives of their children. Many of you fathers who are not there for your children, you better make sure that you're there for your children. You will be held accountable for your children and for the actions of your wives. You need to make sure that you keep your wives close to you. You need to make sure that you keep your wives to actually represent you in a proper way. When they walk outside of your house, they represent you. They take your name. Your wife takes your name wherever she goes. Your children, they take your name wherever they go. They take the father's name. They take the husband's name wherever they go. How your wife dresses in public will reflect how you are. So be very careful, friends. You must learn how to rule wisely in your house. I'm not saying be all super, strict and you're all like ruling with a rod of iron. No. The love that you have for your wife, it should be reflected, it should be seen in how she dresses, how she carries herself. The love that you have for your children and the love that they have for you, how they carry themselves, how they behave out there in public, it also reflects you. Men that have children with multiple women and they don't see it as a big deal, you better see it as a big deal. Every child that you bring into this life, you are responsible to make sure that that child is trained up in the way of the Lord. If you don't believe in the Most High, you are responsible for the morality by which those children are going to be raised in. So, if those children become devils, ask yourself the question, why have these children become devils? Who was the one responsible for bringing those children into the world? Now, just because you believe in the Most High, it does not mean that He is your Lord. Because many people say, I believe, I believe, I believe, speaking with their mouths, but their actions speak otherwise. Do not take it as a light thing to have children and to bring them into the world. You are responsible for those children. You are responsible for raising them up morally. You are responsible for training them up. So if it was easy for you to bring them up into the world, make sure you do whatever you can to ensure that they are trained up in the way that is pleasing in the sight of the Most High. Or else, unto you shall become a curse. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to hold you off. This is The Controversy 7. Thank you for tuning in and for joining me. You take good care of yourselves. Be blessed. Be safe. I will see you shortly in the next video.